Hey, say hello to my new watermelons. So this is my first video on this new account, and I cannot think of a better introduction than to discuss footage that came online last night about a conversation between Anthony Blinken and Mitt Romney, which I don't know why the fuck this dude is still relevant. But the conversation was mainly focused on the impact social media has had in controlling the narrative and public opinion when it comes to all things Palestine, which is why they're shutting down Palestinian accounts. If you haven't seen the clip in its entirety yet, I suggest you watch it. But for this video, we're going to just analyze some of the talking points that were shared during this stage moment.
Why has the PR been so awful? I know that's not your area of expertise, but you have to have some thoughts on that.
So, not that I seek validation for my content, because I know that I'm telling the truth and all the things happening to my account are proof of that. But this particular moment is validation for the video that I reposted 2 days ago on this account that was posted back in November of last year on the propaganda machine that is consistently convincing the American public and Western public to get on board with war. Controlling the narrative is literally a tactic of war, as in it's nearly equivalent to physical violence. So my hope with this video is that I can get everybody to continue to analyze and read between the lines of the information that they're being fed.
The single biggest change has been in the information environment. And when I started out in the early 1990s, everyone did the same thing. You woke up in the morning, you opened the door of your apartment, your house, you picked up a hard copy of the New York Times.
This is government admission to the fact that they have been in control of the information that you have been consuming forever.
We were on an intravenous feed of information with new impulses, inputs every millisecond. And of course, the way this is played out on social media has dominated the narrative.
And they are admitting and validating the power in things like indigenous storytelling and communal storytelling. This is proof of the community threat to government institutions. This is proof that we have taken control of these systems that were put in place to control us, right? Social media was a thing that was created to ensure that people remain distracted, that we become obsessed with influencer lifestyles and entertainment. And it's a constant, like he said, it's a constant intravenous feed of things that are simply there to distract us from what it means to be living on this planet and what's actually important. And we have used it to educate each other. We have used these systems to better ourselves, to better our community, and that will always be a threat to power structures.
A small parenthetical point, which is some wonder why there was such overwhelming support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites, it's overwhelmingly so among TikTok broadcast. So I'd note that's of real interest, and the president will get the chance to make action in that regard.
I'm pretty sure that's just an oops moment. That looked like he said the thing out loud that's not supposed to be said out loud, and that thing is that this TikTok ban has nothing to do with China and everything to do with Israel. And the speed at which truthful information is being shared about Palestine on TikTok is a threat to Israel, and anything that is a threat to Israel is a threat to the existence of the United States.
And you have a social media ecosystem environment in which context, history, facts get lost, and the emotion, the impact of images dominates. And we can't discount that. But I think it also has a very, very, very challenging effect on
on the narrative.
And that part is once again the government and its officials attempting to gaslight the public into thinking that what they are learning about Palestine is incorrect, because these images and these videos that we're seeing are not devoid of context. There has been an abundance of education on the truth about Palestine, especially since October, that they are attempting to wipe off the internet. And it's an attempt to get the public to question themselves and what they're seeing and hearing coming out of Gaza directly themselves, as if it's not the truth. It doesn't take nuance or context to see an image of a child blown to pieces or watch a video of a child taking their last breath after being hit by an airstrike for you to understand that it's wrong. None of this needs context, but the context exists. The history and the facts exist, and that is why public opinion has shifted when it comes to Palestine. Not enough yet, but it's getting there. So my point in all this is that social media matters. I think for a very long time it has been discredited and seen as something that's silly, because for a very long time it was something that was just silly. It was a place for people to share pictures of their food, to share pictures of their kids, to connect with loved ones from across the world. But it's not its only purpose anymore. Now it's a place for us to receive and send information. It's a place for us to challenge the narratives that we are being consistently fed through mainstream media. And for those who still need help getting there, it should make you question why these institutions don't want to be challenged. It's exhausting. We're all exhausted, but we can't stop. This is proof that it's working, so you have to keep posting, keep sharing, keep creating content, keep talking about Palestine, because it's working.